Hello, welcome to this course where I will be walking you through my workflow when it comes to designing environments. So, as every project, let's start here too with the idea. My idea was that I would take this castle and turn it into a steampunk castle, pretty much. I was thinking in sci-fi or anything like that, but yeah, I went with the steampunk. So already when I open this on Sketchfab, I can already see that like this has a nice flow. Like here, I could put the focal point there, maybe with some zeppelins. I'll do some hangers here or like a boarding part. We'll see later on, but yeah, this would be the general idea. That just like making a shot first with as it is. I mean, obviously, I will fill out the rest of the parts here, like with proper trees and hills and stuff, but I want to make two shots at least, one naked like this, the castle as it is, and one dressed up with the kit bash parts that we'll be gonna modeling later on. Okay, so I don't usually do too many sketches. I don't even think in this situation I need like thumbnail sketches because it is so obvious that we're gonna be doing it from here. But even if I do, the kind of sketches that I do is I never show it to my clients. I just do it for myself, and I gathered some references too next to these. Some real life steampunky buildings that I can pick and choose some details from. Obviously, I'm not gonna one-on-one model these, just as like not gonna one-on-one model these either. They're obviously for inspiration and to get some ideas going. And yeah, for the mood references, I was thinking I will be going some dark and rainy, gritty, bit wet environment and lighting. But then I was thinking I could also do like some Mark Maggiore inspired atmosphere and feel to one of the paintings. So it's not gonna be too hard because it's just an HDRI change, and we're gonna be replacing the sky later on in Photoshop anyway. But these are good to like know which direction you'll be going later on. I mean, as you can see, I don't have too many references here, but I think for a starting ground, this should be enough. Okay, let me make a screenshot of this real quick and I'll be explaining how I go about this. So I'll be really short. I don't want to drag this out too long because, you know, as always, when we are on the job, it's usually shouldn't take more than 2 days. But since we have time here, I will be explaining. So this part, I was thinking of separating this into 3 parts. This is like the mega industrial, like this bottom part where like there will be factories, bunch of pipes, cables, all that stuff. There could be living quarters. Okay, whatever. So this will mean that this part will have around 80% industrial part and 20% like metal and a bit more not that rugged elements. This will have probably 70% like windows and like living areas, probably lights flicking in and out there, and 30% will be either brick or pipes, and the top part will be 70% glass and 30% industrial parts. This will be the fancy area. I'm trying to break these percentages up, so like if I would make a side view for a base building for each level, I could make this like Last of Us type of rule where they had like this laid out what kind of percentages the ivy has to overgrow and where and how much has to overgrow the building. I could also give it the same percentages and like the same kind of rules. I mean, I'm not gonna lay out and do the math and stuff, but yeah, the first buildings, like the bottom ones, obviously will have like these parts. We'll have. I mean, let me make a couple. So the level 1 will have this much pipes in it. The next level we probably would have maybe pipes around here. I will explain later on how I will what my thinking is when it comes to like putting details in there and where and how, just in 3D. Don't worry about it right now. And in the fancy areas are just hints of industrial pipes. So this is like the pipe area, the red part. Let me actually do it like this. Pipes. Let me do one with glass, so it's a bit more visible, like how I'm going about this. This is also, and here no glass. And let's make a third one, like a metal sheets. You know how the steampunk buildings have these metal sheets always. This will be like a complementary thing. So you will have to distribute this in a way that we can get a proper big, medium, small in there. There you go, something like this. Let's distribute these details a bit better. And I will have to keep these ratios in mind when I'm doing the stuff in 3D. So it's always good to give a little bit of like initial direction. Even if you don't keep the rules all the time when you're moving into it, at least you have some guidelines, some rules to try to follow whenever you're moving through the project. Okay, so let's jump right into it then.